This will be a short video because I really didn't get a lot done this week. I'm kind of not ashamed, but I ran into some mental block issues with it and got overwhelmed by the realization that I was planning way too much and I wasn't sure I was going to accomplish it. But I'll show you what I've got. I actually had like a little breakthrough today and figured out how to get the enumerator working and actually have it do something in the game. So I decided to put the enumerator here in the AI tags.h file rather than in the NPC header instead. This way I can just reference the tags file and just put everything in one place and keep it all organized. So first I made one called Team ID and put Team A, Team B, TC in it for the three factions I want to start with. And then in the H file, I created a property, a U property for the faction. Okay. And then here in the begin play, what I did was I used that faction identification, whatever it's set as in the blueprint, and I'll show you that in a minute, to change the color, to create a material instance, change the color of the NPC in the world. Okay, so this isn't much, and I know I haven't got much done, but this was a breakthrough, and it kind of broke my block. So what I did was, at first I created a child class of the NPC blueprint that I created from the C++ class here. So I did create blueprint class and I created an NPC, a BP/NPC, and then I created a child of it, which is why it wasn't working right. So instead of that, I just created a blueprint class for each faction, and now here they are, Team A, Team B, TC, and here on class defaults, I can set the behavior tree, I can set their faction, I can set a unit type. I just started adding that in because what I want is when I'll probably set those to integers so I can generate a random number and it'll be a random type of unit. I'm still working that out. And then each faction is going to have their own AI controller. But for now, I just have the one. This is going to be the Team A AI controller, and I have to write some functions to where when it sees Team B it attacks, when it sees the player it attacks, that kind of thing. And then each one has the same thing. And then these I can set the mesh here. So I placed some of them in the level. So there's that one and that one. And then I still have this one in the game mode. So when I hit play, see it spawns them in. That one's green, that one's blue, and that one's red. And they'll chase me. Just like they both all use the same behavior tree, but I wanted to get that enumerator thing working. I know it's not a lot, but it's a lot for me, right? I don't know what happened to me this week, but I just couldn't get my head into the game. I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was getting frustrated and disillusioned with the whole thing, thinking that once again, and I've done this several times in several courses, I just bit off more than I could chew and paid the price at the end. Like, I still haven't turned in my final for a class last term yet, and that's coming up on Friday, and I kind of forgot about it, and there's just too much going on, and I'm so close to finishing, and I just got to get my head back in it. So my plan this week is to just concentrate on A and B and make an AI controller for Team B and a few functions, and so that when Team A sees a Team B unit, that it'll run up and attack Team B, and then when Team B sees a Team A unit, it'll run away from Team A. So yeah, I think I've reasoned out how to do that. I've got to get using the perception thing and the location and all that, just like I used for the chase player. I'll just change all of that and modify the code so that it does it with the NPCs instead. So that's where I'm at. It's like, actually, again, I didn't get much done. I don't blame you if you crater my grade for this week because I deserve it. But that's where I'm at, full disclosure. So, all right, take care.